Hi LEGO fans! And now it's time for something completely different. Is that a book, I hear you say? No, it's a big box containing a wooden dude. As you may have noticed, especially by the price tags, a lot of LEGO products are marketed at adult fans. So what do you buy the adult fan who's got nearly everything? A wooden LEGO minifigure. Today I'm going to be unboxing, definitely not speed building, reviewing in intricate detail, and generally trying to explain why such a thing should exist. This is set number 853967, the LEGO Wooden Minifigure from LEGO Originals. This is a 30-piece set with a price tag of $120. That gives it a price to part ratio of $4, which must surely be a new record. The 30-piece part count includes one minifigure who we'll get to in just a moment. As you'd expect with a premium price tag of $120, 120 euros or 110 Great British pounds, this comes in a bit of a fancy box. It's reminiscent of an Apple product, but I don't think the materials are quite as premium. The LEGO Originals logo on the side of the box is very eye-catching and colourful, and with Originals being plural, I'm guessing there may be more products like this if people pony up the dollars. The other side panel also has an Originals logo, which I noticed that LEGO has trademarked. Just one more indication that we might see some more sets like this in the future. Also located on the side panel is half a wooden minifigure who joins up with the one on the front. Flipping over to the back of the box, there are certainly more words than you would see on the average LEGO set. We get a closer look at the wooden minifigure, who seems to be holding some kind of brick-built accessory, and confirmation of the exact size. The wooden minifigure is 20 centimeters or 7.87 inches high. Warning notices remind you not to let a small child choke on the 8-inch minifigure, and we're reminded that every wooden minifigure is assembled by hand from solid red oak. Solid red oak that presumably grows in Vietnam. Unlike most LEGO sets, this box is not sealed. Sorry knife, you're just gonna have to wait for the 1989 Batmobile. With no seal to break, we can go right ahead with the big reveal. So here it is, the 853967 LEGO Wooden Minifigure from LEGO Originals. And yes, those are plastic hands. So what do we actually get inside the box apart from a chunk of Vietnamese oak tree? There's an informational booklet which will hopefully answer the question why, a crinkly bag of LEGO bricks, and this guy who either wants to give me a big hug or eat my brains. Let's see if we can liberate him or her from their cardboard tomb. It looks like Knife is going to get his big moment after all. The plastic binding is simply wrapped around the arms and is made of a nice soft plastic that won't do him any harm. Of course, being a brand new product made out of wood, there's one thing I simply must do. It smells fantastic! Now before we get too carried away by the minifigure, I do want to look at the cardboard insert. This does a really nice job of holding the minifigure in place during transit. I love the way the punched out part is just folded in. Nobody can accuse LEGO of wasting cardboard, that's all on us now. Inside you'll find a bag of LEGO bricks which you definitely don't want to try and pull out through the front. It's much easier to pull these out from the top. This is marked up as set number 11926 and contains the other 29 pieces. It's not immediately obvious what we're going to do with these, so we'll come back to those later. If you're a curious person like me, you'll be wondering what inspired LEGO to create a wooden minifigure. Perhaps the answer lies inside this booklet. The theme of the first page is Icons of Play, and this confirms that we're going to see other LEGO original products in the future. Next we're talking about the workmanship that goes into this beautifully crafted minifigure. The guy on the right is working on one of the minifigures and definitely doesn't look Vietnamese. The guy on the left may not look familiar, but to true LEGO fans you'll recognise that wooden duck instantly. It's the founder of LEGO, Ole Kirk Kristiansen. The LEGO Group is a family-owned company and has been in existence since 1932. LEGO was founded by master carpenter Ole Kirk Kristiansen and has been passed down from father to son. LEGO is now owned by Kjeld Kirk Kristiansen, grandchild of the founder. Kjeld is worth an estimated $4.7 billion in 2019. No wonder he's smiling. In fact, he's worth a lot less than he used to be. He split his fortune into 4 equal parts, one for himself and one for each of his children. Sophie Kirk Kristiansen, Thomas Kirk Kristiansen, and Ole Kirk Kristiansen. Collectively, the Kirk Kristiansen family are 4 of the top 10 richest Danish people. The story starts in 1916 when, at the age of 24, Ole Kirk Kristiansen buys Billionaires joinery for 10,000 Danish kroner. In 1924, Ole and Christine Kirk Kristiansen's kids, Godtfred and Kjeld, burn down the factory. They find a box of matches in a workbench and try lighting a glue heater for a bit of warmth. As a result, they burn down the workshop and the house they lived in. After that, Ole Kirk Kristiansen works with Jesper Jespersen, an architect, to build the house in Main Street, Billund. This still stands today and is known as Ole Kirk's house. You can even buy a Lego set of it. After rebuilding the workshop, Ole Kirk Kristiansen starts a sideline in making wooden toys. These are high quality creations with sanded corners, smooth fine wood, and many coats of varnish. Partly due to the 1929 Wall Street stock market crash and the Great Depression, Ole gradually moves away from carpentry and joinery work to making wooden toys. In 1934, after a competition to rename the company, it officially becomes LEGO. Who won the competition? Ole Kirk Kristiansen. He combined the 2 Danish words leg and gert, meaning play well, to produce the LEGO name. In 1942, another devastating fire in the factory virtually destroys Ole Kirk Kristiansen's life work. Thankfully, the family home is saved, but pretty much everything else is lost. A modern new factory is built in 1943 and allows for mass production of toys. It's not until 1946 that LEGO starts making toys out of plastic, and it was 1949 before the company launched its first building set of automatic binding bricks. That's a story for another video, but today we're focusing on wooden toys. I was personally drawn to this wooden minifigure for 2 reasons. 1, it says LEGO on it, and 2, just like Ole Kirk Kristiansen, my father was a master carpenter also. He was making wooden models at about the same time as Ole Kirk Kristiansen. By now you're probably curious to know the answer to 2 questions. 1, how much does this cost? And 2, what does it do? A short answer to those 2 questions is way too much and very little. The legs are fixed and can't be moved, and although the arms look flexible, they are actually craggled into that position. What you might not expect from a wooden minifigure with a premium price tag is plastic hands. These are kind of necessary for holding standard LEGO elements, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. Getting back to the most important of those 2 questions, how much does this thing cost? Take a deep breath. If you want to own a 20cm tall block of LEGO firewood in the shape of a minifigure, you're going to have to shell out $120 or 110 Great British pounds. Even this guy can't quite believe the price. Okay, so this is a ludicrous amount of money, but is it any good? As far as I can tell, this minifigure is made out of 6 pieces of wood. Starting at the bottom, we have the legs, which seem to be in the correct proportion for a standard minifigure. For scale, here is a classic minifigure, and they don't get any more classic than the 1978 Fire Chief. The legs are made from a single piece of oak and unfinished like the rest of the minifigure. The unfinished wood does give this quite a lot of charm. If you look carefully, in some of the hard to reach places you'll see evidence of hand finishing. LEGO does refer to this as a handcrafted product. Notice the inconsistency of the handwork here. It's more arts and crafts than Chippendale, but that's okay. Sure, these aren't as deep as a standard minifigure, but it's great to see the anti-studs in the back of the legs. The gap in the middle would be tricky to do by hand and was probably cut by a bandsaw. The next distinctive piece is the hip piece, and this is where the legs would usually pivot. Here you can see a very distinctive change to the grain of the wood. The waistband of the pants runs horizontally rather than vertically. What does impress me is the neatness of the join from the leg to the hip. There's absolutely no gap here and no sloppy glue residue. Moving further up, we come to the body, which absolutely nails the shape of the minifigure. Again, the join between the hips and the body is absolutely flawless. This isn't coming apart anytime soon. You can also see where the body has been sanded to give it the perfect profile. We do have some overlap here, but that's a detail you see on every standard minifigure. The arms are beautifully done and show off the wood grain in the oak. The big surprise, however, is that the arms don't move. Don't try it, you'll break them. While they do look capable of moving up and down, they are absolutely stuck into place. The plastic hands, however, are not, and you can move these around. That's going to come in useful in just a moment. I can't say this is the work of a master craftsman, but it's certainly pretty good. All of the edges of the minifigure are beautifully sanded. Finally reaching the top of the piece, we come to the minifigure's head. To produce the head, it's very likely they used a wood turning lathe. I guess it would be possible to make many of these at the same time from a round piece of oak. The head is attached very firmly to the body and probably uses a dowel and some wood glue. Back in the early days of LEGO minifigures, the stud on top of a minifigure's head actually said LEGO. For a while, because of concerns about children inhaling these heads, LEGO actually put a hole in the middle. More recently, those holes have gone away, but we no longer get the LEGO logo on top of a minifigure's head. Because the wooden minifigure is based on the classic 1978 design, we do actually have the LEGO logo on top of the head. And as a side note, this guy is great at doing push-ups. I'd like to say this has been lovingly burned into the wood by hand, but I think in reality it's probably just been etched in by a laser. Welcome to 2019! Speaking of laser etching, check out all of the words on the bottom of the feet. This confirms that the wooden minifigure was made in Vietnam and asserts all of the trademarks of the LEGO group. It also confirms that the wooden minifigure is indeed 100% wood. Lies, lies, lies! Apologies to anybody wearing headphones just then, but clearly the hands are made out of plastic. Last time I checked, plastic didn't come from trees. So we've taken a detailed look at the construction of the wooden minifigure and revealed the crazy price tag. Sweet baby Jesus, what was I thinking? But this is not just a $120 piece of Vietnamese firewood. In fact, this is only one of 30 pieces in the set. For those of you wearing headphones, we also get this delightfully crinkly bag of LEGO elements. To sweeten the deal, LEGO threw in about 50 cents worth of colourful elements. The whole idea is that you can make stuff to accessorise your wooden minifigure and to express your creative side. I'm not sure how we're going to turn these bricks into an empty wallet, but we'll certainly give LEGO's suggestions a try. The minifigure does have plastic hands for a reason, and the diameter is perfect for these round pieces, although he doesn't clutch them. You can make some very neat stuff, for example this pencil, but it has to have something to stop the accessory falling through the hands. You could also make a colourful lollipop, a love heart on a stick. You could be like Guitar George, he knows all the chords. You could even buy a dozen of these and turn them into your very own LEGO paparazzi squad. But what better way to celebrate dropping $120 on a LEGO ornament than turning them into a Jedi? And yes, I totally did steal this idea from somebody I saw on Reddit. Everything's better with lightsabers!
When 20 centimeters tall you are, look as cool as Yoda, you will not.
Despite the 12 plus recommended age range, this is most definitely not a toy. You can buy a pretty good LEGO set with $120. So what exactly was LEGO expecting us to do with this? Being a completely unfinished wooden minifigure, there's no reason you can't paint this or stick stuff to it. In fact, they gave a bunch of these to designers and artists, and what they came up with was quite spectacular. So why did I spend $120 of my children's hard-earned inheritance on this minifigure? It's just cool! The LEGO minifigure definitely wasn't the first and won't be the last humanoid style of LEGO figurine. It all started out in 1974 with set number 200, Family. Apart from the very top of the body with the head, the arms, the shoulders and the hands, these guys were just standard LEGO bricks. These guys are from before my time, but they've been in my family for about 45 years. The next step forward looks a little bit more familiar. This is set number 485 Fire Truck from 1975. The good old days when they actually made LEGO in Denmark. These guys are a little bit creepy with their blank expressions, but you can definitely see the basic form of the minifigure coming out. Other LEGO figurine formats have come and gone, including these Fabuland characters from 1978. The much maligned Jack Stone range from 2001 through 2003. I mean, just look at these guys, they're terrible. LEGO even made a whole bunch of creepy trying to break into the girls' market. I wake up in a cold sweat most nights thinking about this one. Thankfully things have gotten a lot better since the introduction of the mini doll. But since being introduced and patented back in 1978, the classic minifigure has become a recognisable symbol of LEGO and everything LEGO stands for. The minifigure has also made the Kirk Kristiansen family mucho rich. Needless to say, if you plan on buying one of these, you're going to make LEGO that little bit richer. So would I recommend you guys buying one of these? Well, I think that depends. If one of your kids puts this on their Christmas list, I think they'll be very disappointed. It's an 8-inch block of wood that don't do very much. But if you're a very serious LEGO collector or a nostalgia nerd and you've got about $120 too much in your wallet, then LEGO has just the product for you. I'm guessing probably only 1 in 100 people who watch this video would actually consider buying this product. And honestly, I don't blame you. It's a nice thing, but the quality of workmanship doesn't justify the price tag. I don't have any regrets about buying this other than the fact it was twice as much as it should have been. If this was $50 or $60, I think I'd be quite happy buying it. At $120, I feel a little bit foolish. Hopefully in 5 years it's worth $1,000 and I'll be laughing all of the way to the bank. I'm really curious to hear what you think to this rather niche product. Would you consider buying this, or am I just a complete idiot? If you did buy it, are you happy with your choice and will you be decorating it? I sure as hell won't. Whatever you think to this rather unusual LEGO curiosity, I do hope you enjoyed this unboxing and review video. If you did, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome LEGO content. So thanks a million for joining me while I ranted and raved about this wooden minifigure. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next build video.